My name is Syafiqah and I'm from Group 4. So our group members are Jung Song, Hazwan, Aamuel, Dany, Justin and me. The company that we have chosen is Adidas. Adidas is a giant in sports and fashion retail and was founded by Adi Dassler of Germany. Adidas was founded in 18 August 1949. It is a multinational corporation founded and headquartered in Germany. Adidas is a sportswear manufacturer that designs sports clothing, shoes, sports equipment, and accessories. It is the largest sportswear manufacturer in Europe and the second largest in the world. Through their business profile, their purpose is, through sport, we have the power to change lives. Their mission is to be the best sports brand in the world, and their attitude is, impossible is nothing. Moving on to their international footprint, Adidas' vision is to only use recycled plastic in its trainers and clothing by 2024, using sustainability and innovation to make a product with high performance, but yet in a sustainable way. Adidas has delivered a 27% reduction in water consumption per employee and decreased its corporate carbon dioxide emissions by 29% in 2017. This shows the statistics of male and female employees working in Adidas. In 2020, the total number of employees is 62,285. 45% of them are male and 55% of them are female. For the management positions, it is made up of 65% male and 35% female. The average age of employees is 31 years old. This graph shows the demographics of employee split. 11% of them are in Europe, 15% North America, 26% Asia Pacific, 13% Russia, 7% Latin America, 6% in emerging markets, and 23% in group functions.
Adidas strongly believe that diversity and inclusion are the key success of the company. They celebrate this diversity as it helps the company to better serve the community they work in, also providing a competitive business advantage. Adidas strive to create an environment where all the employees are heard and appreciated regardless of their gender, nationality, religion, age, and identity. And as part of their global diversity approach, Adidas proactively pursue a portfolio of internal and external activities that welcome diversity and champion inclusion. Adidas continues to support their employees resource group, which has various networks that provides our employees from various walks of life a voice, such as Network for Women and LGBTQ+. So these are the goals for Adidas: creating a diversity workplace and build employee mindset to appreciate diversity in the workplace, to also promote gender equality in the community and remove all workplace stereotypes. Adidas also aims to create a safe, fair, respectful, and inclusive work environment for all the employees. Based on Adidas employee demographics, there are more male than female employees in a management position. However, there are more female working in Adidas than male. Adidas is very diverse in terms of their employees. For instance, 26% of their staff is from Asia Pacific, and there are 7% of their staff that are Latin American. Adidas has always been standing against racism. To emphasize this principle, Adidas shared a list of global commitments in June 2020. They describe how they aim to contribute to create lasting change. The commitments include investing $120 million in the US towards ending racism and supporting the black communities to 2025. The commitments further establish a global committee to accelerate inclusion, equality, and strengthening global anti-discrimination. Adidas also funded scholarship programs for black and Latin students and made contributions to the National Association of Advancement of Colored People. And as part of the singer and Adidas partner Beyonce, Big Good Fund is supporting the black-owned small businesses. Adidas believe that mixed leadership teams are the drivers of business success. Adidas is committed to ensure equal representation across all diversity dimensions in the leadership position, which include enhancing the current focus on gender equality. Adidas has various initiatives to guarantee that their succession pipeline is balanced, including mentoring the female talent as well as equal gender split in a global and high potential programs. Their mission is to further increase their share of women in leadership positions globally from 2021 onwards. In 2020, Adidas redefined their framework for diversity and inclusion with a clear definition on what diversity and inclusion means to them. They mean by championing individual uniqueness and cultivating a culture of belonging so that everyone can create their best. The framework highlights their approach both internally and externally, which is why it's defined as three focus areas: the workplace, the workforce, and the marketplace. And as part of their three focus area, global internal commitment are also promoting inclusion and equality at Adidas, and these commitments are supported by specific action with a clear timeline. Adidas had a lot of recognition for their environmental and social performance, such as they was listed the global 100 most sustainable corporates in the world. However, although Adidas facts were good, but the action had yet to come. Quoted by Adidas clothing designer Julia Bond, she stated, "It is frustrating to see images of black women around the brand wearing clothing and wearing shoes, but there's nobody that looks like me that was there. Angela is the only black female apparel designer at Adidas corporate office. According to Footwear News, the pledge came after 150 employees demanded the company to fight for their racial justice and make commitments to its black employees and the community. Thus, diversity and inclusion should not be driven by employees' demand, but by the action from within. And these are the 4 main strategies that we will be talking about.
Thank you, Junsong. Now, I will be elaborating further about these 4 diversity and inclusion strategies of Adidas and why they are considered noteworthy. Adidas' first diversity strategy is announcing new minimum targets in the US for increased representation of Black and Latinx people within their US workforce. To stand against and reduce racism, Adidas targets to open at least 30% of internal and external positions to Black and Latinx. Adidas strives to fill 50% of open positions with a diverse group of people and talent. By 2025, Adidas aims to have 20 to 23% of Black and Latinx employees in corporate roles, with 12% of them in leadership positions. By implementing this strategy, Adidas can take one step closer to creating a diverse workplace environment simply by increasing the number of colored people working in the company. By providing increased corporate and leadership positions to Black and Latinx, it allows Adidas as a company to break barriers between different races and build a diversity mindset among employees. According to a study made in the US, having a diverse working environment enhances innovation by up to 20% and allows employees to spot and reduce risk by up to 30%. The diversity strategy of Adidas is increasing female leadership in the company. To stand for and support gender equality, Adidas targets to achieve a total of 32% of women globally in management by the end of 2020. Adidas managed to not only beat the target 32%, but surpass the previous year's 34%, with 35% of women globally in management. By increasing the number of women at the highest levels of management, Adidas allowed the general promotion of women at all levels within the company worldwide. Adidas also implemented the mentoring of female talent, as well as equal gender split in their global and local high potential programs. This initiative drove an increase in the number of female employees, from 52% in 2019 to 55% in 2020. This shows that more females were keen on working in Adidas, knowing that there is an increased opportunity for leadership positions. Equal gender distribution of employees allows females in the company to feel less intimidated as compared to being in a male-dominant working environment. According to a study made among US employees, having more females in the workplace brings unique skills, different perspectives, and structural and cultural differences. This drives effective solutions to companies occupied by men and eliminates gender-related stereotypes in the industry. By doing so, Adidas set an example to other businesses in the same industry to have increased diversity among their employees. Adidas' first inclusion strategy involves strengthening their global anti-discrimination and non-retaliation policy. To reduce discrimination in the workplace, Adidas implemented the global anti-discrimination and non-retaliation policy. Their goal for 2020 was to strengthen this policy. Part of this policy involves the Fair Play Code of Conduct, which states that the company prohibits all forms of harassment and discrimination in the workplace. This applies to any other job-related setting within the company. This strict prohibition applies regardless of who commits the harassment or discrimination, or against whom it is directed to. Any employee to have found violating this policy will be subjected to appropriate corrective and/or disciplinary action as allowed under local law. This is an organizational level of inclusion, as it aims to create a diverse organization by implementing a policy. Adidas believes all employees have the right to work in an environment that promotes equal opportunities to all and prohibits harassment and discrimination. Harassment in the workplace is still predominantly present. Study shows that 42% of gay workers said that they have experienced some form of employment discrimination. 90% of transgender workers reported experiencing some form of harassment, mistreatment, or discrimination on the job. This leads to some taking actions, such as hiding who they really are to avoid it. 42% of employees said they had experienced an adverse job outcome, such as being fired, denied employment, or not receiving a deserved promotion because of their gender identity. Discrimination also affects businesses, as it introduces a host of turnover-related expenses when employees face discrimination and hostile work environments. By strengthening this policy, Adidas ensures that their employees maintain a positive and inclusive workplace. Implementing stronger punishments to employees violating this policy will deter employees from discriminating one another. Although this places on employees' fear, it is a surefire and effective solution. A survey conducted in Adidas proved that majority of employees feel that the working environment was positive, showing that the policy does increase inclusion and positivity in Adidas. In addition, eliminating discrimination in Adidas workplace will expose Adidas to new and lucrative consumer markets. The second inclusion strategy of Adidas is establishing a global community to accelerate inclusion and equality. Sponsored by CEO Casper Rosted, the aim of this strategy is to focus on the advancement of underrepresented groups and drive company worldwide change. The committee will include company decision makers, representatives from all Adidas regions, and people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. This is a collective level of inclusion, as it aims to create a fair, safe, and respectful working environment. By establishing this committee, Adidas makes employees from different racial and ethnic backgrounds feel assured, as they have representatives from their own cultural groups to voice out to. The company will also have cultural understanding at a management level, which allows Adidas to spread cultural awareness to their employees. This also ensures fair and equitable hiring across Adidas, as it removes hiring bias. This increases cultural representation for diverse employees and creates more accountability and foresight. This strategy addresses and removes unconscious bias in the company. Furthermore, studies show that a more inclusive environment improves overall productivity and job performance by up to 30%. Overall, this creates an inclusive working environment for Adidas employees.
Thank you, Hazwan. Now, we'll move on to our recommendations we have for our company. In this section, we will be going through the D&I strategies that we will be carrying out in our company. These two strategies will cover two different focus groups. Firstly, we'll be focusing on the older workforce, which is our seniors. The second group will be people with disabilities, or PWDs for short. In Singapore, here are the trends that we have identified. Let's first classify those who are 60 years and above to be our senior workforce. There are about 367,000 people in this category, and the majority of the 348,000 of the seniors are employed. Recently, in 2019, the Prime Minister of Singapore has announced the increase of the minimum retirement age from 62 in 2018 to 65 in 2019. He also mentioned that the re-employment age has also increased from 67 to 70 years old. All of these statistics just points to that there will be more seniors in the workforce. Now, more seniors will be in the workforce more than ever, as Singapore is heading towards an aging population. Even though the majority of the seniors have tons of experience working in the workforce, far more than any younger worker, the skills of the seniors are not relevant in the modern day industry. Hence, a good handful of them are not employed. And even if they are employed, they are undertaking jobs that are labor intensive and they are not suitable for their needs. A good 70% of the seniors are working in the retail and service industry. 21% of them are working as cleaners, labourers, and other kinds of jobs. As such, more is needed to be done in order to improve their skill and sharpen their skill in order to make them more relevant in this day and age. Let's move on to talk about people with disabilities. Firstly, there are about 32,000 people with PWDs in Singapore, and 62% of them are unemployed. 28% of them are employed, but they're working odd jobs, which require them to move about often. Only 10.6% of them manage to find an administrative role which is more suitable for their needs. Of the 62% of them that are unemployed, many of them said that they gave up looking for a job as they lack of support and education from their friends and family. As such, many of them decided to stay at home instead to support their families. Moving on to PWDs, or people with disabilities, many of them are looking for an environment to fit their physical needs, one that can accommodate their physical and one that they will not be looked down on. Companies are stereotypical that PWDs are not efficient. Why should company go to the expense to hire PWDs when they can hire a more able-bodied person that can get the job done faster and more precisely? 32% of PWDs in Singapore, aged 15 to 64 years old, only 28% of them are employed. PWDs will feel included in their working environment only if the workers and their colleagues do so. There should be more training needed in order to make the environment more inclusive as possible. As such, more is needed to be done in order for PWDs to fully integrate into the workforce. I will now pass my time over to Dany, who will be sharing about our D&I metrics.
Thank you, Aamuel. Now, I'll be sharing 4 proposed metrics the diversity department should work on. Classified under generation element for diversity, we have the senior employees aged 60 and above, as well as the welfare of senior employees. For disability element of diversity, we will track the employees with disabilities in the company and upskill training for all the staff. Under the first matrix, our company can annually monitor the figures of senior employees aged 60 and above. We can generate a chart that filters the employees by age to visualize the senior population growth, like the bar chart template on the right. If applicable, an appropriate generational quota can be specified in each department. This method is relevant because widening the talent pool by hiring seniors brings opportunities for senior re-employment and better manpower at work. They are aware of their attributes and remain loyal to the company because they juggle lesser responsibilities. A collaboration of knowledge from experienced seniors and innovative ideas from youths boosts productivity. It paves mentoring opportunities where they learn fresh insights. Thus, a multi-generational team can offer a variety of approaches to tackle issues discussed in meetings. To achieve a positive result, we will be targeting 30% of senior employees at the start of the plan, which can progressively increase if the results are promising. We will be expecting a steady rise of about 2% each year when more senior-friendly jobs are being introduced. However, a failure results if the percentage of senior employees falls below 30% or when they choose to resign due to personal factors which exclude retirement plans. The welfare of senior employee matrix is attributed by conducting basic activities that rallies all generations. We measure the duration of seniors participating in monthly reunions and record a timestamp in a logbook. These active aging programs keep the senior employees engaged and feel satisfied with the working environment. Furthermore, they forge lasting friendships with their colleagues while nurturing social cohesion. According to Channel News Asia, a study reported that senior suicide is on the rise, from 26% to 36% within a year. Hence, productive activities will sustain the seniors' well-being and prevent self-isolation. It is noteworthy when all senior employees minimally participate for 2 hours in monthly reunion activities. On the other hand, there could be poor response of senior participation whereby it falls below an hour. Additionally, seniors that refuse to take part illustrates a disconnection in our company. Under the third matrix, we can examine the percentage of employees with disabilities annually. It is crucial because the company can gain reputation amongst persons with disabilities and widening the target market. As a result, the company's revenue will grow and become well known. A buddy system enables them to communicate tasks easily and provide personal assistance during on-job trainings. Hence, this boosts their emotional stability. A good result is deemed when the sum of employees with disability rises consistently by 5% each year, proving a suitable environment for disabled employees. However, when figures of disabled employees fluctuates over years with 10 resignations annually, it demonstrates a bad result. Lastly, the company can manage trainings for the team by recording training hours for every staff that participated in disability-related workshops. These trainings cover sensitive issues of disability types and unique approaches that accommodate to their needs. This method is useful because it prepares supervisors to guide new employees with disabilities that aims at improving maturity and performance through mutual respect. Thus, disabled employees could expand their potential, having a sense of accomplishment and breaking that social barrier. Upon tracking the training hours, a positive result is met if above 80% of the staff took initiative to sign up for relevant workshops, and majority opting as a buddy. Meanwhile, a negative result is when many staff turn down the offer to participate upskilling themselves in the disability course.
Now, I'll be talking about the two diversity and inclusion strategies that the company should adopt. First, we have the Re-employment, Equipping and Developing Yourself program, which is also known as the READY program. This program was founded by Workforce Singapore, and this is an organizational level of inclusion. As stated in the website, the main objective of this READY program is to enable employees above 58 to cope with possible life changes and career transitions. As the seniors are encouraged to continue working beyond the retirement age, this program provides appropriate workshop trainings that they might lack, such as digital and practical skills. To encourage companies to adopt this program, the government will help to subsidize up to 90% of the course fee and other training fees for the employees aged 50 and above. Here, you can see different statistics of Singtel Group after they have adopted the READY program. The decrease in percentage from 2018 to 2019 is probably due to their decline in the number of total employees. However, the consistency in senior employees over 2017 to 2020 shows that the READY program is credible. Next, the second D&I strategy that I think the company should adopt is the Open Door program. This program was founded by SG Enable, which is an initiative by Workforce Singapore and Ministry of Social and Family Development. This is an organizational level of inclusion. To be eligible for the Open Door program grant, the company must be a Singapore-registered company, partnership, sole proprietorship, business, or organization. The company must also hire or have hired persons with permanent disabilities who are Singaporean citizens or permanent residents. On the website to apply for the Open Door program grant, the person with disabilities must meet these criteria. Firstly, if the person with disability is a member and/or service user of relevant social service agencies providing disability services, or they could have attended special education schools operated by a social service agency, or lastly, if they are certified by a medical practitioner of any one of the following: physical, sensory, autism spectrum, or intellectual disability. So, how does the grant help? It supports the new employees with salary support and body allowance. The employer can receive salary support of 70% of the monthly salary of the newly hired person with disabilities. This amount is capped at $800 per month for up to 6 months of employment. The newly hired person with disabilities must also be employed for 6 months, and the employment contract must have a minimum duration of a year. Following that, the employers can encourage inclusivity at the workplace with a one-time body allowance grant of $100. This is for colleagues supporting the employees with disabilities. The grant not just benefits the newly employed person with disabilities, but also the existing employees. This is by job redesign, training cost fees, and the capability development. Employers can claim up to 90% of qualifying job redesign cost, which is capped at $20,000 for each newly hired or existing employee with disability. The job redesign project has to be pre-approved by SG Enable. This includes purchase of equipment, workplace modification, redesign of job scopes or processes, and lastly, consultancy services. The employers can also apply up to 90% course fees funding when they send their employees with disability for training courses. However, the employers must seek SG Enable's approval before the course commencement. Lastly, the employer who wants to develop capabilities and customize training materials and training delivery for persons with disabilities may apply for funding support. So, in conclusion, all our members feel that the most important diversity issue when finding a job is racial discrimination. All of us want to be treated equally, regardless of our races. We do not want to be treated differently or victimized due to stereotypes towards our races. We also want to be included in all events and meetings. One of our members also pointed out that Racial Harmony Day in Singapore has not eliminated racial inequality. Thank you.